Hey everybody, it's Amy Graham, the Badass Valkyrie, and today's video is going to be not of a happy planner, but of the printouts that I've been using for MakseLife. I heard about this from Cindy Gunter-Baldo a while back, and she had done a review on their goal planning system. And I looked into it, joined their Facebook group, and just was kind of seeing what the differences were for it versus the Cultivate What Matters goal planning book, trying to decide which I wanted to do for 2022. And MakseLife has a lot of their goal planning system online on their website and part of their Facebook group that you can download and do printables for. And that's what this is. This is one of my favorite covers from, I think it was 2019. But this is the big planner. And it is discs, but I just have the plastic discs. But I printed it out on 8.5 by 11 regular printer paper, and this is what I've been using as my household planner, just to kind of go through everything. But I also printed out their goal system, what has been released as far as everything. I believe it's got everything in it, but it does not have your weekly printout for your weekly goals in it, but that's okay. I'll show you how I've been using it just as my household planner, and a couple of different things from the dailies. I'm not going, as far as I'm aware, that I have figured out. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with the flagship planner in the horizontal, and I'll explain that when we go through all of this, and show you the differences. But everything that I'm using in here has been printed off of their free downloads, and I'll link everything down below. I am not an affiliate. I am not anything. I'm just a chick who really was intrigued with their goal setting system, and having come from Cultivate What Matters and feeling like that got a little too in-depth for me, especially for what I wanted to use this for. And so I will show you why I actually really liked this whole system. And to be honest, I could totally just do the printouts for the entire year. However, that being said, I get annoyed with having to write in the dates and all of that. I prefer to have a dated planner. It kind of keeps me in it, and it would work. The setup that I'm using works well in compendium with my Hobonichi and Planner Prime, so I'm happy with that. I do not have any plans on changing the setup that I have for my personal planning that encompasses the Zoomkin planner. And even though there are some changes with the Zoomkin planner, they were not my changes. They were made by Zoomkin. And my Hobonichi Cousin Beck. That's staying the same. But this will be my household planner. And I've used a household planner in the past, but this one seems to fit exactly the way I want it to fit. So anyway, let me show you what I've done. So first and foremost, and sorry, my throat is still scratchy, but this is their compass assessment, and it reminds me a lot of the level 10 life, but it doesn't have the 10 aspects. It only has 8. But this goes in, it tells you how to start with this whole compass assessment and what you should be doing. And it's the way it's set up in this, and I just used my, like I said, my regular printer, my color printer. I have a disc punch and regular printer paper. That's all I've used. And you will see that I do not have front and back printing. So you will see how I've kind of fixed that and some places where there were some mistakes. But the reason I really enjoyed this Life Compass is because they go into showing you how to come up with your score instead of just like, well, I think I'm a 5. Well, what goes into making that a 5? What goes into making that a 9? What goes into making it a 6? Whatever. This part helped me so much. And I'm totally being free and sharing this with you. This is my initial setup or my initial scoring. And so just for sake of, talking about it, like for personal, my basic needs are taken care of. That was a 10. I generally feel happy and fulfilled. That's a 9. I have a positive attitude and outlook on life. 10. I give myself grace for my limits and imperfections. 7, which can also fluctuate all the way down to like a 4. But at that day, this was done, I think, a couple of weeks ago. 7. I regularly take time for life planning, reflection, and self-care. An 8. I am comfortable spending time alone. 10. There are hobbies and interests I engage in regularly. 8. And there are personal goals or projects that I want to achieve and or complete. 10. So you add all of those up, you divide it by 8, and that's your score. So for personal, I got a 9. Fun and recreation, I got a 6. Work and learning, I got a 5. Family and relationships, I got a 6. Health and wellness, I got an 8. Spiritual and personal growth was 9. Financial was 8. Physical environment was 8. So you take all of those scores and then you fill out where you are. Now, these have like little symbols in there, and I just I did this on the 27th. I've just put the score there. You can, down here it tells you the example, like you can shade this in. So if I was a 9, I just blocked that 9 out. But you can also like use a marker and shade that in, and you can see how it looks when it's shaded in versus what I did, but that's just how I decided to do it. And again, these have those little symbols in it, but I went ahead and chose to mark the score just so it was easier for me to see. But having that breakdown of how to come to this, hugely helpful to me. And that's the part that actually hooked me. I was like, oh, I don't just have to come up with these randomly. That's awesome. I love that. And so this is the part. These right here are what sold me on this system. So there's that. So that's how it looks with me filling that out. And then you have a sheet that talks about your intentions for 2022 or the year. Your word for 2022. I'm not even sure if I'm going to do that or not. I'm not planning with John. He decided not to do a word for 2022 because he said in a nutshell, he said by the second or third month in, it kind of becomes a negative to him. And I can see his logic in that. But I also can see how a word can also drive you forward. So I'm not sure how I'm going to utilize that yet, but we'll see. I would actually probably lean more towards doing a word every quarter. That might be a thing. But then you can set your intentions for the year. And I haven't filled this out yet because I haven't done my goal planning per se for 2022 as of yet. Then this is where you see how I only have one front page printer, and then I'd have to feed it back through the other way. I am not about that life, so I just left it this way. But going back through and doing so I could see a spread, I just punched it on the opposite side. So what I did was just go through and how I wanted it to look like a spread. I flipped those sheets so I knew that I needed to print on this side for the setting the goals. And then, so this gives you the 3 types of goals, the stretch goals, the progress goals, and the maintenance goals. And then over here, it gives you the things to consider in each area of life when writing your goals. So again, those 8 sections of life that go into that compass. And then you've got space to write your annual goals. And as you can see, I've not done that. That's okay. And then this is a weekly reflections page. I just have this in here. I had originally thought I was going to do the week prior to starting this, but I didn't. But I kept it in here just so you guys can see what a week looks like. So then these are the monthly goals for November. Should have put that at the top. And doing this was on October 27th, which was prior to me setting up the 12 foundational habits that I wanted to work on. And when I was looking at things, I went back through, and a lot of the 12 foundational habits that I've been trying to focus on were actually in the monthly goals. So I just started them, and I was just like, oh, look at that. There they are. But these are how I set up originally the monthly goals, and then the focus for each one of those categories. And I had, 9 of my 12 foundational goals were already in the monthly goals that I had set prior to setting those up, which I thought was hilarious. So then you get into your week. And I just dated it, and this should give you some foreshadowing. I prefer the horizontal to the vertical. I feel like it gives me much more room to work with, and I'll show you. I printed out the vertical as well. I don't think I did a full spread so that you could see them together, but these are backwards, but oh well. This is how it would look, but you would just have to write it down like that. And that just, I don't know. I have never been a vertical planner, and I feel like I'm too scrunched. So having the horizontal, this just makes it so much easier for me. I am #horizontal all the way. But over here, I've just put what we did for dinner. And I don't know why I didn't go back and put those in. But if you followed me at any point in time, you know that a lot of times my planning falls off during the weekend, because that's when I have I get all my errands and all that kind of stuff done. But this is how the 1st through the 7th looked, and how I was doing my habits at that point in time. And then what I felt like I wanted to go in and do for the weekly reflection. Then this is this week. Today's the 14th. And what I wrote here, now this is from the daily. This is typically in the daily planner. This and the next page are both in the daily planner. However, I really enjoyed actually using them like this. I just wrote out Greg's schedule because it's kind of been in flux recently. And then here was the list. I used this as a weekly to-do list to get done. And that actually helped me quite a bit. And there's these 2 things here. These 3 things I'm actually finishing up today. But this is how the weekly spread looked this week. And again, wrote down what we did for dinner and my household stuff that I worked on, and it worked out well. Here, I did not think that I was going to use this. And so I said, check the clear journal, which is where I put the 12 foundational habits that I'm working on. After I wrote that, I realized that, oh, I could have just used that for the habits or the things that I typically do in a week for the house. But I'd already written that, so I just left it. But this is how the week turned out. And I've updated a lot more in my reflections this week. I haven't done the highlights of this week because this is still Sunday morning. And so some of the things I hope to get finished today, I will put up in there. This is the beginning of next week. Just some notes that I put in here. Greg's new schedule kicks in next week. So instead of going in on the office on Tuesdays only, he's going in on Wednesdays and Thursdays now. I need to visit my mom next Sunday, and this is just a side note for me. And you're like, why does your gaming schedule or why does your gaming fall into your household plan? Well, I want to spend a lot of the weekend watching these streams because it's a new release. It's a big update to the game that I play, which is 7 Days to Die. And I put that there because I know that on the weekend, I probably will not be getting a lot of things done that typically I get done. So I need to work them in up here. So that note is just there to go, hey, we know that you're not going to spend a lot of time doing housework that weekend. So maybe get it done earlier. And so this is the to-do list for the day. But again, I'm using it for a master list just to kind of see how I like it. And this is one of the reasons that I've thought about just printing these out. Of course, if I did do that, I would actually get it printed, either go to my office and print it or print it at like Kinko's or someplace like that where I can get front and back printing just because I think it works out better. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to do the weekly horizontal, the flagship planner. And so this may or may not even be in there. But this list is also in my Zoomkin as well. So I just had liked having this in here. So it actually worked out really well. This is next week, and this is just some forward planning. And a lot of people use this list in to make for their time for the day. But as I'm only using this as a week, like a master to-do list for the week, I decided to use it as my shopping list. And that's the beauty of these downloads. You can make them however you want to make them. So, you know, just use it in whatever binder you want to use it. If you want to 3-hole punch it for a notebook binder, however you want to do it, that's great. Just make it your own. But this is what I've got set up for next week. And then I've got this dated for next week. And then this is how I changed this up. So I can see what day I'm going to change the sheets out. Usually the trash goes out either Monday night or Tuesday. I need to vacuum the main floor. I need to get the laundry done, which is typically finished on Friday when I sift the litter for the cats. And then do my savers drop off for all the clothing that I pulled out. I will be doing a drop off today for what I finishing or what I end up finishing today for last week. And I'll put that in to the previous week. But I also want to make sure that I have that just to remind me that I need to work towards having another savers drop off. But this is how I have the next week set up. And I went ahead and I printed out for the entire rest of the year so that I have it. and see how I like it. But, you know, they're undated. So you can, like I said, make them however you want to use them. If you want to put stickers in, you can. I'm not really a big sticker user in my functional planning. I do use it in my memory keeping, but usually my functional planning is pen only. So that is how that's set up. I printed out, like I showed you, some extra stuff in the back. And I even printed out the vertical, but again, not a vertical planner. So there's that. I pulled out everything out of here. Like I said, oh, it's a 2020 planner. But I pulled everything out of it, but I kept the tabs. And honestly, what I would probably do is either print out either this or this and just washi tape it here. But what I also did was when I cleared all of this out, I just cut them down to use as scratch paper for work. So, and then it's small enough, if I wanted to use this, I could just, you know, washi tape that there. But because this doesn't have a year, I kind of like the option of, if I did decide to use this instead of buying the full planner, because it is pretty spendy, I could actually get the sticky notes that are, they have a full pad of this, and it is this size, which I think would fit perfectly here. And I could just sticky note that and just have a master list if I wanted to do that for the house. And then I've got January notes. As you can tell, I did not really utilize this because it was 2020 and it was a dumpster fire. So I kept this page and then this page from each month. And I just love these dividers. So I am repurposing this. I did not put this in to the months because I didn't want to have to flip all the way back to November and December. I just left it at the front, but so far so good. And there are some things that I did not print out that are available for the downloads. And again, like I said, I will link the downloads below. I'll also link the video, or not the video, the Facebook group. So you can join it if you'd like. I know that on Tuesday or Wednesday is the public release of MakseLife so that you can go into the website and buy the planners. And they have undated weekly and dailies. The dailies, I think you have to buy quarterly. The month or the weekly undated you buy every twice. So it comes in a 6-month. And then they have the yearly flagship planner, which is the entire year. Again, they are not cheap, but I think that it's something that I will enjoy using. And that's the important part for me. But I also am testing this out going, do I want to just print it all? Or do I want to have the printed? I'm still looking at different videos. I know Cindy just came out with one that she goes through everything that's in the actual printed version. And so I am going to be watching that to see, just to double check and see if that's for sure what I want to get, and I think that one's like $74 for the entire year. Or do I just want to use this and print it out? We will see. I do know that if I do get the flagship planner, I will either go with the black and white media cover or the beach cover that has just the two stripes with the beachy colors. Those two I'm drawn the most to. But again, I guess we'll see. Because I'm part of the MakseLife Facebook group, I get early access, and you can sign up for their VIP list and get access to it on the 16th, which is Tuesday. So I will be making my decision here pretty quickly. But right now, I definitely know that I will be using the MakseLife over the Cultivate What Matters, just because it suits my needs better and it explains it a lot better to me, and there's not a lot of going back and forth. I do know that the weekly assessment gives you sections to be able to focus. It's like this, but it has all 8, and it just gives you goals for the week. So you have that instead of the monthly. So it looks similar to the monthly goals, but it's all on one page, and it's all 8 on one page. So I like that. So you have the ability to put weekly goals in all 8 sections, and then ramp that up to monthly goals and to the annual goals. So I like that a lot. It makes more sense to me. And I can't really explain it any better than that. It's just how my brain works. And for me, this seems to be a much easier system, but still gets it down to the point of where I want it to be. So there you have it. I guess I will let you guys know probably next week what I decided to get when I update you, probably on my Hobonichi and everything else, so that I can show you how October turned out and how November is going, that kind of thing. So anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, even though today is Sunday. A lot of you probably start your week on Sunday. This ends my week, so Monday is my start to a week. So anyway, I will talk to you soon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.